Aren't MMOs always a grind? I mean, more. So this actually is a topic that I get into quite a bit, and I was actually thinking about like drilling down to being like making a video on its own about it, or like a segment on its own about it. But it's the concept of the get to do versus the have to do, right? So the example that really drives it home for me is moon mining, right? So when I have one moon up, everybody's really excited about it. It pops, it gets drilled, you know, it gets mined out in like 4 or 5 hours. Everybody consumes it, and they're like, oh my God, there's not enough. There's not enough. We need more. So we get more moons and more moons and more moons. But the problem is, at a certain point, you hit a critical threshold where now, in order to actually complete all of the moon mining, people now have to mine when they not necessarily want to. Like if you go all the way to the current threshold of interest, then if interest wanes in any way, well, those moons still have to be mined. And so suddenly and with very, very little warning, you cross the threshold from your player base, your community, seeing the activity of moon mining as being something that they get to do because they're in the alliance, to something they have to do for work. And that is a critical threshold, right? That is a critical problem. If the player perceives something as being a chore, then yes, they're going to perceive it as being grindy. But this is something I actually haven't understood about player behavior for a very long time. You know, like free-to-play games that make you play a lot of games in order to unlock this stuff. And people say that it's grinding. It's like, well, what were you going to do anyways? Why are you playing the game if not to do matches, right? Like, playing matches, which is presumably what you're here to do, unlocks the thing. Now, granted, I'm not saying that there aren't situations where it is bad, but like, I always get so confused by that. Grinding has a stupid stigma attached to it. It also has a very Western stigma attached to it. Obviously, a lot of Eastern cultures have a very different perspective of grinding. Hence the Korean MMO. Yeah, exactly. Cheetah. There we go. You ain't seen grinding until you've tried to like level up an Aeon or something. Or gear up, more importantly. Oh man.